Are you tired of dying over and over again in Ghosts of Tabor and losing your valuable gear? He's right there. No! 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 Well, if the answer to that is yes, then you came to the right video. Because I'm gonna be giving you 10 tips to stop dying in Ghosts of Tabor, which will improve your survival rate and get you more gear in your bunker. Without further ado, let's jump straight in. Tip number 1. Stop looting early raid. This is probably the most common mistake I see new players make in Ghosts of Tabor. As soon as they spawn into the raid, they start looting. And why this is bad is because when you spawn in, nobody has died yet, and there's the maximum amount of players in the map, which means a higher likelihood you get pushed while looting. What I would recommend instead is to push nearby player spawns when you spawn in, or if you're a complete beginner, just camp until it's late raid and there's only scavs to worry about and pretty much no players left, then you can loot up safely. Which brings me on to tip number 2, learn the maps, and especially player spawns and extracts. Doing this will help you a lot because you will know where potential threats are in player spawns, and then also where you need to go to leave the raid if you get some valuable loot. And also, when you learn the player spawns and extraction points, learn which extraction points are open for which player spawns on the map. Usually, you will not have the closest extraction point to your spawn, so you will have to run a little bit further. Generally, learning other stuff about the maps is also going to be really useful, such as where are the busiest spots, where are the valuable item spawns such as keycards, flares, streamer items, etc. I got videos for the keycard spawns and the flare spawns. You can check them out if you want to. Tip number 3, rotate when fighting players. This is also a very important tip which will massively increase your kill to death ratio. And even I sometimes don't do this because I feel like I have a better position on the opponent. But in my experience, rotating is almost always the best choice, as even if it means compromising your position and being in a slightly worse position, it still benefits you in the long run because the player won't even know where to expect you. Also, obviously, try rotate out of their line of sight, for example, behind a hill or a building or somewhere where they cannot see you. Tip number 4, don't get too greedy. Mainly, what I mean by this is if you find some valuable loot, for example, a keycard or marble giraffe or any other valuable item, don't push player fights. They will have everything to gain and you have everything to lose. When you hear an XM250 or a Tatragon, it might be tempting to go fight that and try gain even more loot. But just think about it, you're less geared, you have a higher chance of dying, and if they kill you, they steal whatever valuable item you have. So just take the small win and extract with the valuable item you already got. Which brings me on to tip number 5, learn how different guns sound. So in Ghosts of Tabor, different calibers make different sounds, both suppressed and unsuppressed. Learning how each of them sound, as well as what guns use what caliber, can give you a bunch of information when you hear player shots. For example, you hear a suppressed 7.62x51 gun that's full auto, that means it's probably an FAL, and it means the player is most likely kitted. Knowing this, you can determine what to expect and how to fight such a player. Tip number 6, learn which junk items are worth taking. So when you open boxes, lockers, or cabinets, you'll find some items which are not used for anything other than selling them. These include items like oximeters, inhalers, phones, tape measures, nails, and a bunch of other stuff. Learn how much each one of them is worth and determine whether it's worth taking or not, because your backpack space is limited. You can learn all the values of these items by checking the Ghosts of Tabor wiki, which I will link in the description. Tip number 7, run with teammates. Ghosts of Tabor is an extraction shooter, and there's no game modes like solos, duos, or trios. This means all teams can fight each other, so you can be a trio fighting a solo or a duo. At the same time, you can be a solo going against a team. This is why running with teammates will give you a massive advantage and significantly boost your survival rate in the game. Also, another good thing about this is that if you die, your teammates can get your gear out for you and bring it to you the next raid so that you don't lose your gear. Tip number 8, don't hit vaults or flares early into the raid. So, similar to tip number 1, which is to not loot early into the raid, this tip is even more important, as if you open a vault or shoot a flare, other players will know about it. That's because when you open a vault, a siren beeps, And when you shoot a flare, obviously a plane is coming from the sky and it makes a lot of noise. And everyone will hear it and also try to steal your airdrop. I always recommend clearing the lobby first, or at least waiting until late into the raid and there's no people left to use such valuable items. Also, before you start bringing keycards or flares into the raid, I recommend you to get a secure container so that if you die before using them, you don't lose your items. Tip number 9, enable virtual gun stock. This tip is for those who don't have a physical gun stock and play free-handed, as in my experience, enabling virtual gun stock really helps stabilize your aim even if you have shaky hands. So what virtual gun stock does is it adds a third point of contact at your chest so that your controllers are not the only thing impacting the rotation of the gun. And in my experience, it makes it way easier to hit your shots, especially with sniper rifles at long range. Tip number 10, check the time of day. This tip applies for Island of Tabor, Mont-Commiest, and Chodov Mall, as those are the maps where the time of day constantly changes. For the time, you will always have two options 12 hours apart. But, for example, if the choice is between 4 AM and 4 PM, you will have to bring night visions either way, as it's either going to be dark at the start of the raid, or it will start getting dark later into the raid. Because at night, especially Mont-Commiest and Island of Tabor are really dark and you can actually barely see anything. Alright guys, that is going to wrap up today's video. I really hope you found the tips helpful and I hope you start surviving more of your raids. And if you did, be sure to smash that like button. It helps push this video out to more people. And also subscribe to my channel with notifications on. That way you don't miss any more of my uploads. You can also join my Discord server. It's linked down below in the description. There, you can play Ghosts of Tabor with me. Alt and face shield here, Ragnar. GPU in this one. There's a GPU. And others in my community. See you in the next video.